Yeah, like the video
Right.
of this is up.
Oh,
Hello.
sorry. Yeah, sorry. I did not give you adequate warning.
Welcome
Hello.
to British-Irish coverage of the EMC Season 6 playoffs. It is the final week. We are into a top three. We were thrown into chaos by Neil suggesting in chat that we don't have VODs turned on. Neil, we do have VODs turned on. This is
Because I have a stream
baseless
day,
slander.
mate.
There just hasn't been any streams recently. That is correct.
Yeah,
There's a
this is
stream
going to be
now.
this is going to be a very quick intro because the match is underway and they got started
Right, we're
way
starting.
faster than I thought they would.
Heading down into a lower bracket. 4Wheels having just lost to Wumbo for the second time this tournament. There's our faces again.
Oh, for
we love a
God's
transition into our faces.
Wait, why you can never
We're
cast
into
the
game. It's true. Hey, that's
Right.
round one over.
I'm not 100% sure whether that is warm up or
I'm gonna say that was a round. I've decided. Yeah, see, Brinken wins the round.
Gonna have to politely ask when I get rid of 1,000 pieces of UI. There we go.
Yeah.
We're gonna treat
someone
it
will
like a
respond at some
round.
point. Yeah, we're gonna treat it like a round and assume that Brinken has managed to beat it. Are you gone?
Okay, it's live. It's live.
Yeah, perfect. It is 1-0. We did see Brinken win 7-2 the previous match, the upper brackets finals, up against Wumbo. And unfortunately, from there, it did not go as well for the team. It is not going great for Brinken in this round either. As currently Ariogon is looking good. Do we think that I'm saying that name right? I don't, frankly.
I don't know what other pronunciation. If anyone in chat has any suggestions, you know.
Yeah, it's the fact you know, they're Portuguese, but then the IEU feels very French to me. You know, that's a very French combination of letters. You know, like the word in lieu of. So Arugon, I'm gonna go with Arugon, and we'll see where we go from there. If anyone shouts at me, then we'll be fine. That is tied up though by Evo Black as Brinken finishes 4 seconds down in that round. Doesn't matter though. One round win is one round win. Doesn't matter how far in front of your opponent you are. Aragon ties things up, and well, we're going to 7. Both players start at 1-1. Yeah, I believe it's actually pronounced the King of Gondor.
So the King of Gondor is currently in second place here, trailing behind Brinken. Brinken with an uncharacteristic crash in the previous round. King of Gondor perhaps putting on pressure here. As we see, he does flip up a bit. He might be turning into a prince if he keeps doing that, to be honest. But...
Can you be demoted from being a king to being a prince? Is that how that
I don't know
works
what the rules of Gondor are.
It's an elective monarchy. Yeah, sure. Hey, Brinken's winning. King or not, Aragon is currently struggling just a little bit in this round. Brinken has built up the gap to 3.5 tenths, just needs to not fail the finish. And one of the things we were very impressed by with Brinken in the previous match was the consistency. That last round in this match, a little bit of an outlier. That is once again a low 56 for Brinken. You get the feeling that the gap was big enough that I'd say he lost a tenth to safing. A little bit, wasn't pushing as hard as he could. So once again, Brinken, I think, looking very good to just comfortably hit low 56s constantly. It really comes down to whether or not Aragon can actually match that, get close to it at all.
For sure. We'll see whether Brinken has still kept his consistency, though.
Oh.
As he did have an early crash, I pressed the wrong number on the hockey. Ignore what just happened there.
It does like to throw things around. I mean,
it
hey,
does.
throw
I
back
tried,
to XP
I tried
Evo.
to,
Did you watch any of XP Evo, Padster?
I saw bits of it. Unfortunately, with all the delays, I was like, I can't wait to watch it. You know, watch the first half, which
tough.
I'm free for.
Well, in that case, you may have missed the moment when, in a very tight round, I pressed completely the wrong button on the spectate thing, and we missed one of the most important moments of the tournament.
Nice. Was it the case banger of, you know, joined casting and producing? It's cursed.
Oh, yeah.
It
wasn't even. They had we had a full production team. Hey, XP Evo, great event, was a lot of fun. But also casters were doing the spectating work for it as well, which occasionally a little bit confusing.
Yeah, it's not always perfect.
Yeah, not ideal. But that's pretty solid. I see that you've managed to jump into the list of players. You will be playing for Team Evo Black in this match. Looking forward to seeing how you do on these maps. I'm enjoying seeing how these two are doing, as Aragon does manage to pick up another round. In fact, will go to 2 and 2. Is that correct? Am I right on the scoreboard? Have I not
It
paid
is
attention
2-2.
for 5 seconds? I'm a
It is
genius.
2-2.
Brinken, though, is once again managing to lead earlier on. We did see in the last match, Brinken up against Salty. Brinken was consistently pulling out kind of a 1/10 lead through this first sector, managing to do a similar thing in at least this round against Aragon as well. Up by about a 10th, looking quick in this round as well. Brinken holding onto that lead and has generally been fast in the back half of the map as well. It's just been very consistent at holding onto this 1/10 lead through the entire way. Will that hold true once again? Brinken setting up a little bit wider. Aragon, well, yeah, Brinken was setting up wider for a reason, and that's that's because Aragon was way too tight.
Yeah. Setting up wider up. Debatably just setting up correctly there, I think.
Yep.
Still a 56 flat though.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
time
he's
completely
quick.
unnecessary.
Yeah.
Aragon
He's
doesn't
just
even
quick,
try
man.
to finish there.
Will we see another 7-2? Brinken to win every round from here on out?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's impossible,
Mm.
but I'd say it's unlikely.
Yeah.
These two started off a lot closer than the one boat. Oh,
Yeah, and the others. Although, with that said, that's a big time loss for Aragon.
that is a big time off there.
Big clip. It looks to have rounded out at about half a second, although with Brinken still holding speed through this entire section, that may jump. It is up to 7/10 now, the gap between the two. And the calls of safe will be coming through in chat as well, because this is definitely a position where Brinken should not be losing the lead from. We've said he's been great throughout the course of the map. The back half has been as strong. Final really failable section, I would say, is this reactor section. We've seen issues for players even like Bozbez getting outside that turn and still avoiding the wall on exit while maintaining your speed can be a little bit scary looking, but Brinken has navigated the dangers well. Round to the final corner, just needs to not miss. Might have missed, won't have missed. Is just about inside that post, and that is going to be another clean win, 56-3, and that's, I mean, a quick time given how far ahead he was. And once again, that I'm going to say, yeah, safing was probably coming through at that point.
Yeah, working out well there for Brinken. He's looking in a very comfortable position here. I think it's quite likely this first point will go the way of 4W.
I'm going to ask the question now. Brinken did his job in the last match. 7-2 is the scoreline. Absolutely dominated in this first 1v1. Is looking great to maybe not do quite as well, but I mean, Aragon is struggling to keep up at the start in these last couple of rounds. If Brinken ends up with another kind of 7-2, 7-3 scoreline, the team is well set up. Do we think Wumbo were just that good on the 4v4 maps, or do we think 4Wheels were struggling a little bit on the 4v4 maps?
I'm going to say, I'm going to give a really boring answer here and say I think it was a bit of both.
Sure.
I mean, Wumbo were incredibly good. I would slightly more say it was a case of, Wumbo being good, but there were inconsistencies.
It was another 56.012. I think that is exactly the time he got.
Yeah,
in,
I've definitely
2
seen
rounds
that
ago.
before.
I think there was a 56.012, a round where he was allowed to safe and finished with a 56.3, and he's just hit a 56.012 exactly again.
Yep. Yeah,
It's
breaking
insane.
consistency. He has been
It's nuts.
yeah, star player for sure.
But someone check this man's PC for the TAS. I mean, surely he can't be hitting the same times to the thousands by complete fluke.
Don't know, you should ask Steg. He managed to break the entire seeding scoreboard for BIPL 3 because he drove the same time twice in 8 rounds on a map. And
Yeah.
leaderboard didn't know how to weight it correctly. It just exploded.
Yeah,
Oh,
sometimes
that's-
the educations pop up.
Indeed. We have now fixed it.
Yeah.
This round,
beta
once
testing.
again, looking beta testing in 3rd edition, wonderful stuff. Yeah, this round, once again, just looking very comfy for Brinken. Even when
How
there's
fast
no
has he
crashes
gone?
from either party.
Okay.
Actually, not his fastest round fair. But
Yeah.
still,
Yeah.
2 to 3 times further. Going for 3
Stag threatening
identical
to go.
keys.
Yeah.
No. Please
Stag,
don't.
we are begging you. Stop breaking things. It's hard enough as it is. Yeah, Brinken's quick, man. I think at this point, Almost not a huge amount left to say. I've been so impressed with his opening. This opening sector again, Brinken has just consistently had the edge over both of his opponents so far this evening. Now, Aragon has put up a very good fight, is once again putting up a very good fight. This turn in particular, Brinken with the inside line setup has allowed Aragon on this occasion to hold the speed. The different lines paying off for once, and all of a sudden a very, very close round. A must-win round as well for Aragon, who's fallen a long way behind. And we saw, I think, Salty's heart get broken a little bit in the first match. Those close rounds going Brinken's way anyway. Cannot afford this right now for Aragon. He's starting to pull out just a little bit of the lead, but that's the mistake. That's wide. We saw this happen to Boz, and it ended up disastrously. The speed loss around the outside on the grass there. Too much to overcome. Brinken has the lead. It's 2/10. There's a finish line to go, and we have not seen Brinken crash it yet. Won't do so on this occasion. Aragon will make it through. The gap stays at 2/10, and Brinken will manage to close things out 7-2 again.
Yeah. Almost an exact duplicate of what happened in the previous game there.
He just got going, and then it was done.
Yeah.
Very, very impressive from Brinken, managing to close things out 7-2. And I did ask the question, you know, I mean, 4Wheels, this is the exact start they were handed last time as well, with Brinken starting off very quickly. The 4v4 is really, I think, what let them down then afterwards as well, because the 2v2, while it didn't go in their favor, was close. We saw so many draws. I mean, it's an up to 5. It's a best of 11. First team to win 5 rounds. And the score at 5-3, but it took us about 15 rounds to actually get there.
Oh my god, yeah, that was an endurance of a 2v2.
It took a long time. But 4Wheels, I mean, if they can put up a similar performance again in the 2v2, I mean, you'd still be feeling okay, right? I mean, if you can manage to split the 1v1 and the 2v2, even if you lose the 2v2, and you manage to lose it like that, you have the advantage going into the 4v4s. But Padster, the 4v4s are the new maps, and I suppose that's one of the things I'm wondering, is it possible 4Wheels just haven't had the time this week, that they just didn't put in as much practice as maybe their opponents in Wumbo? And if that's the case, how are Evo Black looking on them?
Yeah, I would need to go and check the scoreline of the Evo Black match, exactly like how it's distributed by map there.
Sitting here desperately refreshing the Liquipedia page, which unfortunately nobody is live updating.
Not going to be updated live.
Well, that's unfortunate. I suppose the other option would be to go and just double check the Discord server. I can speak words.
What I might be doing on my I'm just awkwardly glancing to the right here.
I'm scrolling. Evo Black beat Shift. Also worth noting, yeah, we should probably call it out. Evo Black did beat Shift in the previous match today, lower bracket semi-final. Shift have won 4 of the 5 previous editions of this tournament. The last 4. The first one ever in Season 1, won by Sun in a different format as well. Only 4 players to a team back then. Shift have been dominant, and now they finish in 4th place. Evo Black knocking them out of the tournament here. So it's exciting. I mean, a new winner for the first time in 4 editions, guaranteed. And Wumbo probably the odds-on favorite at the moment to be that team.
You'd have to say so. On the
Evo
44s,
Black.
Evo and Shift were incredibly close.
Yeah,
on
kind of.
On one of the maps, 6-7 and then 7-2.
Yeah.
And the 7-2 scares me, because assuming that 7-2 was on Crisis...
that map
going
did
to be
not
potentially
go great for 4Wheels.
Yeah, so 4Wheels might be trying to hope that they can get
they
things
really
wrapped
need
up
to
before.
go.
And speaking of, as we have been nattering and I've been checking scores, the first round is underway here. Thankfully, nothing too important has happened yet, so I think I've got away with it that time. The Asa and Pika once again very predictably lining up 4-4W versus Key and Broly.
And Key and Broly, they are pretty close behind at the moment, although Key is starting to lose his speed into this grass turn. Broly, on the other hand, has made a great turn of it and is catching right back up, has overtaken Asa. Asa is going to push on this final corner. We've seen it plenty of times, and I think that might just be the edge he needs to beat out. Broly, it's a full crash from Pika. That's Key across the line. Broly in 3rd, and it will be a round win for Evo Black, as we've also seen that a couple of times from Pika, feeling the need to push through that final right-hander and catching the inside pole.
Yeah, that is a pretty big mistake there.
Gave up the round to Boz at least once, doing the exact same thing. This time around, it does give it up to Key, the player from Poland, feeling pretty good about that one. And this is interesting line from Key at the start, sacrificing a little bit of speed for an early drift, but has held on to the lead as a result. Broly starts off a little ways behind, but all 4 players very much still in the mix here. 4Wheels will be looking to capitalize on the previous mistakes. I mean, still a first round to be proud of. I mean, you had the win all the way until the final corner. That's something to build on.
Yeah, and Key and Burley looking in a good position here. Currently 1-2, but, you know, the entire field is separated by...
200s.
200s at the moment, yeah. There's really nothing to look at in particular. Obviously, there's some parts of the map that are more defining than others. This being one of them. Pika gets it very well. Asa does not. Asa about half second down, so... Oh, but Key clips, and that's huge. And will Asa be able to catch up there? Pika is going to hold on. Beat Broly. Asa doesn't catch up to Key, though. Asa must have made another mistake behind, and that will have cost 4W a potential round win there.
Get these boys from 4Wheels a job at IKEA, because they are wonderful at constructing drawers.
That was awful.
I don't know what you're talking about. That was excellent. They have done a lot of drawing so far tonight. I think it is also, I mean, just all of these players have been so close across both of the 2v2s we've seen so far. Maybe a little bit premature to call that here in this one. That is one draw across 2 rounds, and it is a wonderful start for 4Wheels on this occasion.
Yeah, although Broly having a very good transition there, catching up a bit, and it's going to come down to his outside dirt as to who emerges in front out of him and Pika. It will be Pika with an advantage for now. Let's see the drop down here. Absolutely neck and neck between these two, but Pika perhaps stretching his legs just a bit. By a matter of a few hundred or so.
I like the line from Broly there. Potentially more speed. It looks like Pika has held enough of a lead, though, and that's a better approach to that last left-hander from Pika. Don't hit the inside. Won't. Manages to make it safely. A little bit less speed, but Broly holds on for second. Second's not good enough as Asa comes home in third. Close round. It will be a round win for 4Wheels.
Yeah, incredible round there from the players. You know, 3 out of 4 players with either a 0.1 or a 0.2. Very, very respectable there.
You'd be happy to see those, and so far close. I think a couple more draws probably before we get to the end of this match, very likely. The question is, can one of the teams start to build a little bit of a lead? I think based on what we've seen from the 2v2s, just the way this format works as well, once you can kind of get up by 2, once you put a little bit of daylight between them, I think that's when you start to feel comfortable.
Yeah. For now, the teams are tied on points, I believe. So
yeah, only one to one.
Feeling comfortable for the time being. Though Key might be feeling comfortable. He's had a very good start this round. Asa, his car getting, you know, jostled left and right there. Not ideal. And he ends up clipping there. That is going to take him out of it. And this is looking like a great opportunity for Evo Black.
Pick up that ace, pick up the win. Key in first place, just needs to get through. Will do so. 56.1 for both players in red. They will pick up that win, move ahead by 1, and that was just a great round. They controlled really from the start, and it was that final mistake, as you say as well, from Asa, who ends up clipping on the outside of the grass. Nose touch the inside. I mean, you don't lose speed from it. It's plastic. Unfortunately, what it does do is immediately force you wide, and we've seen over and over how tight that exit is.
For sure, but it was interesting to see when it actually comes down to pure pace. Evo Black are looking a little healthier here. A little stronger. Pika falling back, Asa falling back a bit as well. It's only a 10-4-2, but that can be defining in these matches. He doesn't go very aggressive on the outside dirt. He will get punished for that, as we see Asa and Pika both passing him there. I mean, the pressure is on 4Wheels, though. They are the team that need to push, and so Broly continuing to hold the lead, or at least, Pika touches. Going to be wide. He gets away with it. Speed again, does get away with it. I think readjusted mid-turn to just keep it a little bit wider and then exit tighter. Worked out nicely. Pika still holding the speed. Key holds first. I think Key has it. Has anyone missed? 2 of them did. Yes! 2 of them.
2 of them
Where are they?
Key and Asa both miss. Oh, Key finishes in front by 3/10. Key a little bit quicker on the respawn button, I think, there.
Yeah. I didn't see whether Key went for the risky finish. I think he must have. I was so thrown by what happened. I forgot, obviously, there's still going to be a battle to watch. What?
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Right,
Key and Pika
we're
will
down
both
to
make
two
mistakes.
1v1s here. Key and Pika neck and neck, half a second down.
Man, Key and Pika, I've always really liked their comedy duo. And it's great that they've moved on, you know, that one of them's making feature-length movies now.
I feel like I am missing something.
Did you, well, I can't even remember the name of the movie, so Get Out is at least one of the, it's Key and Peele. It's a Key and Peele joke.
Right,
Yeah. It wasn't a good one. It was barely a joke. It shouldn't be saying it as well. This is a very, very close round, although with that said, Pika has made another mistake, dropped another half a second behind, so it really is up to Asa to try and track down Broly in this
final. He absolutely sends it!
He's done it! He wins by 100th. He had one turn to make up the difference and found half a tenth in that one turn.
Absolute lifeline there for 4W. They should be down 3-1 right now by all logic, but Asa gets one of the best ending drifts I've ever seen.
Flawless.
Yeah,
absolutely flawless
perfect.
from Asa. We have seen that from 4Wheels. I mean, of all three teams that we have seen so far, Wumbo, 4Wheels, and now Evo Black, I think Pika and Asa on this map have been the most aggressive players through the final two turns.
For sure. And it's a mixed bag.
Yeah, it really is.
They've had some good snipes. They've also had some crashes.
At times when they didn't need to be pushing as hard as they were, but they might need to push a little bit in this round.
Yeah, Asa in particular will. Pika is unfortunately out of it again. So it is Asa versus Key at the front here.
And Key just about holds the edge, but again, Asa pushes through these final two turns. Key does push very hard though, very close to the inside there. He's looking great, and Asa a little bit wide, has the speed. Key nearly missed, but he does manage to thread the needle, hits the lock, and the Key slams home.
I see what you did there.
Really reaching for a few of these tonight.
Yeah, you're on an interesting form. Respectable time as well coming out there. 55-9, winning for Key.
Incredibly
you have
quick.
to feel
I think...
pretty mugged as Asa. You know, you've just driven a 56 like .002.
And not managed to pick up the win and
you've
turn
got
it
one.
into the draw. Yeah. Hey, Key doing a great job for the team of Evo Black as they do look to fight back as well in the overall standings. Winning 5-1 if they can, you know, I mean, I don't think it's out of the question at all that Evo Black managed to win all of the rounds or force draws from here, although with that, Asa looking to send us to a draw in this round. Really depends on how much time Key has lost, and not enough for Pika to catch back up, who's having another pretty torrid time of it in this round. I mean, for Evo Black, I think, honestly, you're safe here. You just accept the draw, Asa's gone, and say, look, we're still 3-1 up, we push in the next few rounds, and we're A-okay with it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's no bonus points for faster claps or anything. There's no point trying to deny Asa. Just hold on, play the long game. I think that is Evo's best option here because they are kind of relying on the fairly common mistakes from 4W.
Yeah, and it's worked. We'll see. Does Pika survive the first few corners here? I hadn't realized that the 2S in his name stood for the gap that he is back from the rest of the pack normally. But no, he's holding on this time around.
That was uncalled for, but...
It really was.
It is Broly this time round. There is significantly more than 2S behind, it has to be said. I don't even know if he's going to show up on the leaderboard. And Key has crashed as well, and this is the comfiest round I think that could ever happen for 4W here. They've got Temp's advantage over Key. They've got possibly Day's advantage over Broly. I think he's still playing. Oh, but Asa's still put him in a wall. He's still putting him in a wall.
It's okay. Pika just needs to hold on. The final corner. We've seen
Pika would never crash
into
the
this
end.
pole. No, he's okay. He's okay. He's gonna hit that. He's okay. And Asa nearly caught Key as well. That was close at the finish line between them. Less than the 200th gap. It's a round win either way with Pika in first. Asa taking home third, playing a little bit safe to finish. That was all he needed to do. They will close the gap back to 1. It says points limit 7 on the scoreboard. I'm going to believe that is a lie. And that we are only going to be playing up to 5 here because that's what the rulebook says.
Where'd he go? Where'd Broly go?
Well, I mean...
Okay.
hey,
It happens.
this is great. Like, look, I
Oh,
think
Key's
if you,
crashed
oh,
as well,
dear.
and this is, you know when I said like last
The
round was
most
served on a
comfortable round
platter.
ever. Yeah.
Yeah, this is, you know, it's a massage chair of a round. They can just lie back and let their problems go away as they can just, you know, fly in formation. Pair of them barely a tenth apart. And unfortunately,
Having a great time.
Key and Broly also only a few tenths apart, but
Those tenths are a second and a half behind their opponents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a great feeling. I don't know. I mean, there's the
Pika's
chance
lost
of
bit
a
time,
crash.
but
Yeah, there could
You
be
know.
a crash at the finish here, and a second and a half is one catastrophic mistake away if either of them misses the finish, but they won't. They're
Nope.
very, very safe on that round.
Yeah, a 0.7 there from Pika. That is a safety car that has been put
Yeah.
out. You know, just nurse it home. Don't break anything.
I think the point I was going to make as well, though, at 3-3 now, you're fine if you're 4Wheels losing from here. I mean, obviously, significantly better to win if you manage to pick up both the 1v1 and the 2v2, but it would be the same situation they were in the last match. You enter the 2v2s with the round advantage and a tie still possible, and that's not a bad position to be in at all. Now, given the performance we saw on our final map on Crisis from 4Wheels, I think they're probably better off looking for both the 1v1 and the 2v2 win, forcing their opponents to win both of those final maps. But
Yeah.
it would not be the end of the world now that they've gotten to a respectable 3 rounds, now that the biggest that the round differential can be is 2 off of this 2v2. Pretty good. This is a much closer round, though. All 4 players within half tenth of each other. That expands a little bit as Pika and Broly drop just behind the lead. Key leads the way from Asa. We've seen Asa push hard around this final corner. Pika's there as well. A mistake from Key would be a disaster. It's not going to come through. All 4 players in formation cross the line. Great round between
Very
all of
good
them.
round.
The winning time of 56, near flat. That was quick from Key, denying the round win, but meaning a draw as the points stay at 3-3.
Broly driving a 0.16 there, and he finishes last.
Yeah.
That is rough for him, but yeah.
Remember
what an
last
incredible
round when we
quality
saw 56.7 in second place?
round. Yeah. complete different speed class that round there.
Yeah, this is-
Hopefully more of that, because that was great, but for now, Asa
Did you-
leading away by a couple of attempts already.
Yeah, looking pretty solid here as we move on through. But Pika has dropped not a long way behind, but behind.
He's still there.
This is draw formation. He's very much still there. A mistake from any player now will probably hand the win to the other team, unless that player is Pika, and then we'd continue to sit in formation. But Broly and Key are trying to hunt down Asa, and this is quick from Broly and Key. They carry more speed than Asa, who is dropping behind. Now, it's an awkward setup, it looked like, for Key. It's a very awkward setup for Asa, who continue to fall off those 2 leaders. Key and Broly just need to close it out, and they will move to sub-match point. There goes Pika, touching on the inside as he tried to send it. Don't miss the finish. Nobody will, at least in this top 3, and that means a round win for 4Wheels. They move to match point. They look to close out both the 1v1 and the 2v2. A win here would be big.
For sure, it's looking pretty good for either Black. They had a little wobble. They gave a couple of rounds away. You know, some big mistakes from Burley and also a couple from Key, costing them. But if they can keep it together, they've got a real chance to wrap it up on the first time of asking. I think Asa leading the way for now. He's looked very quick in the early section, but not always as strong in the middle. So we'll see whether Key and Burley can catch up there. Pika, 3 attempts down already. He is not fully out, but he's down for sure. We now got
Not
Broly
feeling great about it.
versus, yeah. Been a rough day.
Yeah, it's been a little bit tough.
It's
But
Broly versus Asa at the front here.
And
These
Broly
two.
track him down. It's a great turn. I like that from Broly. I like the speed, but Asa has matched him bar for bar, input for input, and Asa continues to hold the lead. A little bit more speed for Broly, who sets up wide. Here comes Key
Broly goes
out of nowhere.
flying.
He's so wide, and
Where-
Key in
where
fact
did
allows
Key
Pika
go?
through. He cut in so hard on that turn. There was no way he was ever making the risky fin, and it's allowed Team 4Wheels to tie things back up.
Yeah. Well, they're up to being team 4 points here at even Black. This is rough. But yeah, we have both teams on 4 points. It is sudden death. Whichever team wins around here first will win the sub match. They will get a point on the board.
Hey, how many draws do you think we're going to see before we see a win?
I'm scared. Well, perhaps not too many. Key and Broly looking very comfortable right now. Asa, a player who has often been the fastest, at the back of the pack for now, but everyone only separated by a tenth. We're still yet to see the most influential corners of the map come up.
Ooh.
We see it here now. Broly falls behind a bit.
Ooh,
Asa
Asa
goes a bit wide, but still in a solid position there. Key is running away with it right now, but is this going to be the first draw, potentially, of many more? Broly can't quite get Asa. Not the fastest pace round, but everyone's separated by a tiny little margin, and we see draw number 1.
I would like to apologize for manifesting this, but I think we all knew it was coming. That was close. Honestly, Asa flirted with disaster through that reactor section as well. Recovered admirably, went very low before the uphill, and we've seen that turn out very poorly with a massive speed loss for a lot of players, compromising the follow-up turn. Asa did a good job to recover, to hold on for that draw. Key and Broly, once again, will start off a little bit behind, though, and will need to fight their way back through. It is Key already making the gains. Broly right on his heels as well. Asa and Pika through the outside dirt. It's Asa's mistake. And now the pressure is on Pika's back. And Key and Broly look to have speed. They are moving quickly, but that's a full crash from Broly as well. I say full. He's lost a couple of tenths. It's not the end of the world, but it is the end of his fight for first place in the round. Pika continues then to hold on. The pressure lifted ever so slightly, but Key is gaining. I think he has a couple of speed in the pocket, in the advantage through the final corner. Key goes wide. Pika holds, and Key won't catch at the line. Asa comes third, and 4Wheels wrap up the 2v2.
Oh, pulling it back from a 3-1 scoreline there. That was an absolutely huge performance there for 4Wheels. I am very surprised that they managed to bring it back. I am so surprised, in fact, I have transitioned into the same scene yet again.
It's just fun when it happens. I mean, look, Star Wipe 4, you know, I mean, it's my way of showing appreciation. That's great. This is huge. That will be Evo forced to win both of the 4v4s, and that's a wonderful position to be in if you are Team 4Wheels, because they didn't look very comfortable on Crisis at all. They needed a win on Crisis up against Wumbo, and while Wumbo looked incredible on that map as well, they looked very, very happy there. This now means that 4Wheels can just render Crisis irrelevant to this match.
Yeah, completely. It is all going to come down to Boz's map, actually. It is going to come down to Bing Chilling or ice cream, depending on what you want to go for there.
Depending on what language you speak. Yep. I believe the pronunciation is Bing Chilin. Listen, I don't speak Mandarin, so I can't speak with any authority, but I'm going to do it anyway. I mean, is that not what a caster is for? To say things confidently and simply make people believe them? I mean, you'll notice in the middle of that match, I said at the time that Evo Black moved up 4-3 that it was match point for Team 4Wheels. And you did very subtly correct me and set the record straight. And I appreciated you not calling me out directly, Padster, but I noticed and I appreciated it.
It's where it has to go, you know.
Yeah.
Clearly casters have to some extent just be chatting random stuff that isn't always correct, because if we actually did know everything, we'd be playing in these tournaments.
Yeah, that's true. Like, and
that's why I'm here.
We have seen in a recent competition, Mini RPG of the Week, that in fact casters are simply better than, you know, the majority of other players. It's just, that is the truth of it. It'd be unfair to everyone else, at least in the British-Irish community, if we participated too often, Padster.
Exactly, you know, I'm just letting everyone else, you know,
have a chance.
Feel better about themselves, you know.
Yeah. Well, looking forward then to moving forward to Bing Chilin Ice Cream. The Brain Freeze, this ice turn near the beginning of the map, definitely one that has caught players out in the past. Will, I have no doubt, catch players out in this one as well and lead to some truly chaotic rounds. But 4Wheels looking good in the chaos so far. They enter our 4v4s with a 6-round differential as well. But that is literally irrelevant. It does not matter. There is no possible way we can draw, and so I just won't bring it up again.
Yep, fingers crossed. Right, once again, it's the joy of being caster producer. I've not been able to track where they are with warm-ups. I do not know whether this is a warm-up round or not.
Hey, if there's no timer on screen, we'll just cast it as if it wasn't one. And I mean, look, I can.
Well, for the sake of Kevy, he's
that-
gonna hope it's
a warm-up. I'm also going to say
Yeah.
I've seen CoPro in chat saying 2 warm-ups, then go, and Vortax agreeing with that. So yeah, probably a warm-up.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain. Yeah, this is definitely warm up.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how things roll on out from here. We should be seeing Shadow, CoPro, Mime, and Kebby in 4Wheels. They did okay on this map the last time around. They couldn't pull out the win up against the squad of Wumbo, but they looked all right. Is I think what I'm going to say about it, and we'll have to see then how Evo Black look once we get into it. I mean, a very, very solid lineup over on their side as well. Vortax, Speedy, Aragon, and Megorian. Some very good players in their own right.
For sure, this round is looking to favour Evo Black quite comfortably here. It's only really Kebby up at the front here for 4W.
Is this a warm-up still? I'm unclear now. I think this, I'm going to say it, I think this is another warm-up.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Okay, I could be wrong this time around. I hope for someone's sake, and that someone is Aragon, that it is a warm-up, because that was a rough finish
Yeah.
to the map. Still finishing, but finishing in 5th, 2 and 3 seconds down, I'm calling it a warm-up. See,
Yep,
the
I
have
figured
funs
it
are
was
coming out
warm-up.
now in chat. Yeah.
I just casted another warm-up.
Hey, unfair this time around, because there were no orange numbers on screen. They did you dirty. Wouldn't worry about it. This is live. We're into
Yeah,
the
this
match.
one is actually live.
Must win for Evo Black.
Absolutely. The only way that Evo Black can win this now is to win both 4v4s. That's all they have going for them.
And it's maybe not starting out ideally for them, as 4Wheels take a lead. They do lose a player, I believe that was CoPro, who has now dropped a long way out of the running, but it is 3 in the lead and 3 just behind. 4Wheels holding off all challengers for the time being. The end of this map has caused problems before, though. Shadow taking a very different line, has been taking that line all evening. Probably should have called it out a little bit earlier, but I mean, it seemed to be pretty much on pace with everyone else, and it's managed to hold the 1, 2, 3. Kevy, Shadow, and Mime wrap things up in round 1 very comfortably, and it's a 51.9, very quick from Kevy.
Yep, great performance there from Kebby. And the whole 4W squad as a whole. This is definitely the 4v4 they looked more comfortable on. So, as much as this is, you know, Evo having to win both, I also think if 4W don't win this, I'd be very surprised to see them go and win on Crisis. So, this is almost the decider to the match.
Yeah, I don't think
get
you're
to play
wrong on
Crisis at the end just for fun.
Yeah, it's going to be enjoyable for, well, one team.
One team, yeah.
Whether that's Evo Black because they feel like they're cruising to a win, or if it's 4Wheels because they have, in fact, already wrapped
Speedy
up the
into
win.
wall.
That's tough. Speedy was pushing to at least try and make things interesting in this round. All of a sudden, though, the gap is big. This top 3, once again, the same top 3, Mime, Kebby, and Shadow. CoPro this time is a little bit closer to the teammates, but is really just there for moral support in the last couple of rounds, as the team as a whole do seem to have it wrapped up. With that said, the mistake has come through from Kebby, and so Shadow is trying to taste down Aragon, but has run out of track to do that on. Mime wins the round. It's 52-1. And then looking further down the board, I believe, with Kebby in 5th place, it is in fact going to be a win nonetheless for 4Wheels, but a little bit closer in round 2.
Yeah, momentum very much way of 4Wheels. They look stronger on pace and consistency, which is a very difficult combination to try and beat. So, Evo will have stepped up a bit. They'll get an advantage by, you know, not late starting. I don't know who that was, but that is not how you want to go. Kebby slides out, and just I commentate on how good the consistency is, there's Shadowcronter absolutely messed that up, and you know there are only 2 players out the front now.
Yeah,
Speedy battling Kofa and Mime. Kofa and Mime can still rescue this if they go 1-2, because worst case scenario then that will be a draw for 4W, but Speedy is in the mix.
Speedy is up there. Vortex, I think, also importantly in the mix. Copro going for the Shadow Crancer line through the middle there. And by that, I mean, I do think it was more of a mistake. As you say, the no slide, but Vortex has clipped. He's gone. And Speedy Copro, though.
Copro
another mistake, and there is 3 players through in red. That should be a round win for Evo Black. And a needed one. They closed the gap to 1.
Yep, that was a very comfortable round for Evo Black in the end. With just... After I, mentioned the great consistency that had been seen from 4W, they proved me utterly incorrect very quickly.
Yeah, a first place and then a 6, 7, 8 is not the scoreline you want to see. Mime is having a much better map than he did in the previous match, though. I mean, Mime is a very good player, but was struggling a little bit with consistency the last time around, I think. This time around has been 52 ones, low 52s pretty much the entire time. So stronger performance from Mime, and that is definitely leaving the team as a whole much more stable.
Sure. Speedy seeming to be the only one who can match the pace in this early section with 4Wheels. He's very much out in his own. He doesn't really have much of a team with him. Shadowcroft's going for his different line there, and yeah, Speedy can do this all he likes, but without a team there, it's going to be 3 of the top 4 going the way of 4W. Kevy actually sniping there. One of 4W players did end up falling a bit back, but 125 doesn't matter at all where the last of their number finish, which is good, because mine was last.
We've done well on the caster curses.
We're doing well,
We've done
aren't we?
well. Kind of nailing them at the moment.
We've gone for a slightly more eloquent version of a caster curse. We don't necessarily just say to them when someone immediately crashes the ball. We just make an observation.
I mean, just ice slides are so wonderful for comedic timing as well, because it is just someone who they just seem to slam into a wall and slide out of frame. The perfect turn to observe a caster curse on, or to just watch someone fall out. It's just very entertaining. This is a great round for Evo Black. Currently, they don't hold first place, but they hold all 4 of them just behind that. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th belonged to them. They still belong to them, although the gap between 4th and 5th pretty large. That does not matter if they can hold on to this top 3, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, that is, just behind Kebby, even if they manage to snipe Kebby. Honestly, for Speedy, you don't need this first place right now. Just hold on to it. You could safe, doesn't even choose to, does stay right behind Kebby all the way to the line. And the 2nd, 3rd, 4th locked up. They will lose 5th. That doesn't matter. That will be a round win, as Evo Black will once again cut into that gap.
Yep. That's very important points there for Evo Black. I was just double checking that was definitely going to be a win for them.
Yeah, no, it is. And it's 3-2. Once again, even if this does... Well, okay, no, I was going to talk about the round score and then remembered it literally does not matter, so I don't have to worry about that. It's just I've spent so much time thinking about it. You know what does matter is the fact that I think 3 players on 4Wheels slid out on that ice turn. Yeah,
they are rather lacking a team. Well, they do have a team, they're just second behind. Kebby going for a bonus crash there, I'm not quite sure what the plan. Oh, Copro joining him. The Swedes having a national competition of who can crash most in the first half of this track. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. This seems to be a fairly running theme of this map, is you have one player from the team that's going to lose, just like running away from the entire gang. Mime's absolutely legging it from Evo. He sets a great time. It's a great time.
Yeah, 52 flat is quick. But it doesn't matter. It does not matter in the slightest, because that point for that round will once again go to Evo Black and tie us up on the scoreboard 3-3. We are going to 7 in this one as well. I guess the 2v2 is the most likely one to end in a draw, which is why we only go to 5 for it. Yeah, understandable.
I mean, we saw how long it took in the...
We did, yeah.
Versus,
Hang on, watch for slide outs. Someone's going to do it. Somebody's going to miss on one of those turns. They didn't. Everyone made it through.
Everyone keeps it together, and it's quite rare at this point in the map to actually have, 7, 8 names in front of me.
Yeah. I love it. It's the one round where I call out for everyone to pay attention for the slide out, and nobody does. GoPro, though, has had a little bit of an incident, has dropped about a second away. Other than that, 7 players still in the battle at the moment. And that battle, hard to say who's going in favor of. This really could come down to the line. CoPro is still within distance as well. If anyone has a big error, they will drop behind CoPro. But it's Speedy versus Kebby and Mime for the top 3. This is an important battle with Vortax and Aragon sitting in 4th and 5th. Can Speedy catch Kebby? I don't think so. It is a 2nd and a 3rd and a 5th as well. And I think that means it comes down to who came 7th and 8th. What was the order? Is it a draw? I think that's a win for the team in red. It is. One of those rare rounds where it really did matter who came 7th and who came 8th.
Yeah, it's always an interesting quirk of this format is it matters as much to not lose the round as it does to win. You know, finishing 8th completely undoes the benefits of one of your teammates winning, so you know, it does make playing safe very important. When it comes to playing safe, 4W haven't looked great these last few rounds, but this time round they're holding 1-2-3. They're looking in a good position. Vortax trying to close down alongside Speedy, but so long as these 3 players can stay, you know, at the front of their field, then this should be going the way of 4W. They should tie up the score 4-4.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the thing. For Kebby, Shadow, and Mime, your battle right now is not with Vortax. He doesn't matter. It's with Speedy.
It definitely doesn't matter.
Speedy, and it really doesn't matter when Vortax crashes the finish fully. The 1-2-3 is going to give a round win to 4Wheels. They are back in the lead. Evo's comeback was on. They were gaining momentum. They were overtaking, but we're back in a draw as 4Wheels tie us up at 4-4.
Yeah, this is going to be such an important few rounds here. Obviously, 4W looking very poor on crisis against Wumbo, whereas Evo Black are able to win it against Shift. Whereas if Evo Black lose this map, it's done. Their competition is over. Their EMC Season 6 hopes are dashed. No lower bracket run for them. So the way this is going to evolve is going to be really, really interesting. This time around, we actually have a very mixed field at the front.
Yeah.
Speedy at the front. Vortax there to back him up this time. But Shadowcrancer, barring some mild ping issues, sending him back and forth quite a bit. You know, holding on to 3rd. I don't think Vortax has the speed. Where does CoPro go? Where's CoPro?
He's not made the finish. Hang on. If
he
CoPro
goes safe.
4th, he still beat Aragon by 2/10. That means a round win. That is going to be 4Wheels picking up the round win. Literally only just. With some very fast times.
Aragon has to be kicking himself, therefore. Yeah.
Not picking up the round win.
Allowing CoPro to get away with that, because that has cost Evo Black Diver. We see someone falling back at the start there. I can't quite tell who.
Well, now it's Kebby.
Kebby having a little tap on the ice there.
Yeah,
booping the nose of his car.
Making it easier.
And, yeah, that hasn't gone great. So we're left with a 3v3 at the front.
3v3, they're currently just about in favor of that team in blue. 4Wheels pulling out a 1-2-3. They've looked to have had a pace advantage, maybe, on the map as a whole. With that said, there was definitely multiple rounds in the middle there where they kind of lost a little bit, just based off the fact that they were making more errors. But when they cleaned it up, they are looking better. Now, keeping it clean, looking tough. CoPro has once again dropped a long way back, and it is up to Mime and Shadow to close
Aragon messes up, though.
Aragon messes up. Now, that is going to be a 1-2-5-7 for 4Wheels. That's a round win for 4Wheels. They should now move to match point if I've done my maths correctly.
Yeah. Potentially only one round between 4Wheels and a rematch against W.
I feel for Evo Black. If they made it to Crisis, we said it, that this was probably a decisive map, and Evo Black really started to gather some momentum there in the middle, winning, 3 rounds back-to-back on the bounce, looking very, very solid, and then 4Wheels have cleaned it up. There's still a couple of mistakes coming through.
That is one of the fastest players for Evo Black on this track. Into the wall there. And currently, 4W to win the match are flying in ace formation. No, they aren't. Mime goes into the wall. But that still leaves 3 of them at the front. This is still a solid position for 4W. So long as they can keep it clean, so long as no one else makes any mistakes. We've seen mistakes from CoPro, in particular, going through his final section. Shadow crossed the line, Kemi crossed the line, CoPro crosses the line, and 4W win this sub-match, and they win the match overall.
Yeah, it's done.
Setup.
It's wrapped up. They're going to the finals. I don't. Do we still play the
we
finals?
We still play Crisis, I believe.
All right. Why not? Let's have a good time.
So yeah, think of it as, you know, show match, charity type thing. Well,
loser has to do 20 push-ups. I think that's
fair. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I was going to say, well, okay, 4W, rematch against Wumbo. Those 2 teams came out of the same group as well, which I think is particularly interesting in this. So this will be their 3rd match up against each other in Season 6 of Eclipse, having played once in the group stage, once in that upper bracket finals just before this match. And they will face them one more time in the grand finals. In the previous 2 matchups, they have not beaten them, but they got very close in the group stage. Now, the upper bracket finals, yes, Wumbo / Team W dot did look significantly better on the 4v4 maps, I think it's fair to say. But it was very close back in the group stage. A 4-3 scoreline, as close as you can get. It did come down to that overall rounds tiebreaker between the 2 teams previously. I'm just kind of hoping that we get back to a similar thing in our grand finals.
Yeah, for sure. You know, playing this extra game, I don't know which, like, scenario I prefer, because playing the extra game, you know, you've had more match time, you've had more match experience, you're going to be feeling warmed up, you're going to be feeling ready to go, if you're 4W. Meanwhile, you know, the players of Wumbo are probably enjoying their dinner right now. They're probably, you know, taking it nice and chill.
Just very relaxed, exactly.
Yeah, so it could be a case where it takes them a little while to warm into it, but I'm not quite
It is
sure.
interesting looking back at the group stages as well. As I said, you know, Wumbo topped their group 4Wheels at 3 wins and 1 loss overall, sat just behind them. Evo Black topped the other group. We now know 4Wheels have defeated Evo Black for the 2nd time in this bracket, I believe, as well, because they were the team to send them into the lower bracket earlier with a 6-1 scoreline overall. Could be a 7-0 this time around, or it could be a 5-2. We'll wait and see. But even in the group stage, 4Wheels came 2nd in their group, but had a better overall sub-match record than Evo Black did, topping their other group. Evo Black went 22-6 in points from their sub-matches for a plus 16 point differential. 4Wheels finishing 2nd in their group, just behind Wumbo, went 24-4, only dropped 4 points in sub-matches, all of which were to Wumbo in their matchup. So, going to be interesting to see how things play on out from this position. If 4Wheels can once again bring it closer to Wumbo in the grand finals. Now, as you said, Wumbo will have been off eating their dinner, relaxing, you know, preparing for this. 4Wheels will be coming off the back of competition. You know, they're going to be a little bit more warmed up than Wumbo potentially going in. W dot. Wumbo's just more fun to say.
Yeah, when you got 4W as the other team as well.
Exactly,
W and
yeah.
4W, it's a bit of a mess. Anyway, we are going into the very chill match here. This isn't going to decide anything.
Nope. It's relaxed. It's a good time.
Just
going
realised
to be
I'm
fun.
fairly certain Golden Point has already gone the way of
Yeah. No,
4W.
it's literally
not
not
gonna
possible
matter.
either. Yeah. So it is at worst a 5-2 for 4W. They're looking at the sweep though. They could still close things out with the 7-0 with a win on this map. But
Yeah, I am really
vibes.
hoping for sake of Maui that this is
a
still
warm-up
warm up.
round. Yeah. I'm going
That's
to
my
assume
nice
it is.
bright orange UI to tell
Yeah.
me the warning. What am I meant to do
One
about
more than
it?
live, says Asa in chat. And, well, that's fine. Maui, oh, gonna hit the flip, gonna land it. Yeah,
Oh.
nearly even got the bug slide out of it as well. That's some skill.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be hoping he doesn't end up trying to use those skills in match, because if he is, something's gone horribly, horribly wrong. But
Wild cuts that are, I'm going to assume, probably illegal under the rule book as well as they are in most competition. But yeah, probably not much risk of any of that gaining time for Maui, and probably not something he's going to be trying in round. I believe this is still one final warm-up round, and then we will be into live as Paco just lets off the accelerator off the start line as well.
Indeed. Well, you correct me if I was wrong, but I don't believe last time on Crisis Maui played.
I think Maui might have. I think. I believe Maui did play on Crisis last time.
Right.
Because I made some kind of... I
it.
remember saying something about the fact that he's Portuguese, and, you know, we had admin Yek Cosdo joining the server with a Portuguese flag as well.
True.
Yeah, and I don't believe Maui played
from
on...
the other Portuguese player.
That's true, there is more than one of them. Unusually. I mean, unusually at esports in general. I mean, I love when we see the Portuguese players in things in general, but we just don't get a lot of them in a lot of top esports.
Well, it's one of those weird things. Although like they've barely ever turned up to stuff like TSCC, I think I can find it very easy to just, you know, if there's a good performance in TSCC, take something like Hungary's performance. I'm like, right, there are actually a very good set of Hungarian players.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that from Portugal, but like, if you actually just search up a list of Portuguese players, you look through it, like, hang on.
Yeah, there's a lot of good... I mean,
respectable.
In this match alone, there are 3 Portuguese players. I mean,
yeah.
Maui, Pika, and Aragon, all Portuguese players in this match.
I presume we're talking about Yocosto as well, so...
Yeah. I think I'm missing context as Yek gets into chat and talks about Portugal 2021 in particular.
I know they have played in TSCC at some point,
okay.
But the records barely go further enough back for that. I was looking for it recently, and, you know...
I mean, the fact that the emote that follows it is aware does imply that maybe it's not a positive memory, but, you know.
Yeah.
That's just a guess.
Perhaps.
Maybe there was a Football World Cup in 2021?
There was Euros in 2021.
How did that go for Portugal? It was the SEC, and Denmark, I'm assuming, did quite well against them, because Denmark have also a lot of very good Trackmania players.
Yeah.
That was a round.
It was
a draw.
It was a draw. Yeah, I think there's a little more excuse for us to, you know, chat random garbage as
yeah.
You know.
Hey, maybe it's time to start talking a little bit about the match that will be upcoming. I don't want to spill all of my fun facts, but I don't have that many of them, so I'm going to spill a couple anyway, and we'll just have to scramble for something later on. There are 2 players who will be participating in the grand finals of Season 6 of the Eclipse Mixed Championship, who are looking to become the first ever players to win an Eclipse Mixed Championship on 2 separate teams. That is, they have won already with 1 team, and they are looking to win with a second. Now, both of those players do play for Wumbo. So, if Wumbo win, we'll have 2 players who enter the record books. I think the most interesting part of that fact, to me, Padster, is that it might be expected that both of them have won in the past with Shift having won 4 out of the previous 5 Eclipse Mixed Championships, but that is not the case, because Nico did leave Shift and join up with W this year, back in January, and is now looking to win a new Eclipse Mixed Championship with them. But Melio was on the Sun squad, the 4-man Sun roster that won Season 1. So both of those players could be joint first players ever to win an Eclipse Mixed Championship on different teams.
And what's great is because they're both called Melio at the moment.
So it'll just be Melio who gets into the record books.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be W Dot's downfall. I mean, the last 2 Eclipse Mixed Championships have been won with a team that has a Nico on them, and Nico has name changed away from Nico, and maybe that'll be what loses them this grand finals. They won't have a Nico on the team.
You know, very possible.
We gotta consider it as a possibility. It's time for someone on Team 4Wheels to name change to Nico. They've kind of got it, like, listen, you make a portmanteau of Copro and Neil. That's kind of Nico. Little bit more of a Japanese spelling there, kind of cat-like. It's a little bit closer to Neko. This is a round win, by the way. It's going to be a 1-2-3 with Copro.
Yeah,
They've done Kono, or Cone. They've just done Cone. Cone! Cone of Luck! It's like the Trackmania World Tour all over again.
I think we've reached a point of the stream where Noah Lurk has officially lost his mind.
That was actually how we began. I was just doing a better job of hiding it.
I will say, I know there's nothing really riding on this, but it's going well for 4W, isn't it?
Yeah,
Lot better than it did against Wumbo. You know, they picked up 2 1-2-3s in a row. We had this talk in previous map of being like, oh, you know, the first 4v4, the 4v4 on ice cream, will be the decider. But I think there's a very real chance that 4W are going to go 7-0 here.
Yeah. And I mean, it has to be said, they're
doing
it
in terms of
looking
overall
pretty
score.
I'm
not going to bet 7-0 on the map. That's a bit far, but
well, I mean, they're looking okay
1-2-3
for it at the
again.
moment.
Yeah,
And it has to be said,
here?
they're doing it looking pretty quick as well, right? This is not necessarily just, oh, their opponents aren't trying because they've already lost. Bye, Neil. That is, you know, a 57-8 there is a relatively quick time. I mean, it's about 4/10 off the current world record held by EPOS, but it's not slow. I mean, if you have 2-3 players in that position consistently up against Team W Dot, that is going to put a bit of pressure on the opponents as well. Now, W Dot, I think we're kind of looking at 57 6s and 7s a lot of the time. They were looking very, very quick on this map. But this is confidence building for Team 4W, for sure.
Yeah, and it's confidence they're going to desperately need to carry it after that 7-0 dismantling.
Yeah.
By W Dot. You know, if they want to have any faith that they can go in and they can win on a rematch with no different maps, no different players, it's just a direct rematch of a match that was fairly one-sided, you'd have to say. They would definitely rely on a better performance here.
Yeah, they're going to have to look to do just a little bit better.
A little better than Neil is there, to be honest. This time round, advantage finally going away of Evo here. I see he and Megorian picking up a comfortable 1-2. Broly and Speedy 4th and 5th as well. They pick up a point here.
Looking good. It will be 1 point back in the other direction as the Red Squad do pick one up. Evo Black on the board. It is all for fun, but you know what? It's nice to hold on to your pride at the end here. And honestly, there is, I think, a decent bit of pride here nonetheless for Evo Black. Third in the Eclipse Mix Championship. They are the team that took down the reigning champions. I mean, they defeated Shift and knocked them out of the tournament in the lower bracket. So I think a performance for sure to be proud of here.
We'll see whether they can just, you know, get one extra bonus on there. See if they can avoid getting 7-0'd overall. And now we've been here a couple of rounds. It's the 5th round here, or 6th round even on this map because there's a draw at the start. This is looking slightly more in favour of Evo Black. You know, see Megorian Key and Speedy Key falls off. I think Megorian crashed. Why do I open my mouth?
Hey, call this the green screen round. Because that's key out.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's a banger of a joke. It's incredible. Hey, are we getting a draw in this round? Who came 7th? Who came 8th? That's a great time. 57-6 from Copro is fast. I mean, once again, 4W looking good, I would have to say. But it is going to be enough. They did manage to pick up the win. A draw in the back half of the table and a win in the front half of the table means they do manage to pick it up. And they will move further on ahead. Looking to close this one out nice and quickly, get us towards the grand finals. I mean, there is also an argument here that if you are 4W, even though this is a little bit for fun, you still want to close it out. Keep that edge. You know, as we said, they are warmed up. They're feeling competitive right now. And I think the longer you drag on this kind of slightly more relaxed final map, that you maybe run the risk of losing some of the benefit of the fact that you're coming off the back of a big win.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you want to keep the positive momentum there. Not the negative momentum about one of them is just picked up by driving into a wall and now probably going backwards from it. But this is a scrappy round. Speedy.
Yeah.
Speedy, half second up. There's a great fight between Copa and Megorian happening at the front here. We'll pretend it's a 1v1. This is an epic battle between the Polish and the Swedish player. Megorian will just get it by less than 10. Oh, and look at all these random people trundling across the line and second down.
But it is a round
Where's
win for
Neil
Evo
going?
Black. He's
Where is Neil?
just limit testing. Checking out the rest of the map. Not going to finish the round. It's okay. It's a round win. Evo Black on the board again. It is 4-2 overall. 3 wins for 4Wheels is all that separates them and the end of this match and their date with Wumbo. That date is locked in. They just have to reach it. Stuck on the bus. Stuck in traffic right now on their way to the restaurant.
Yeah, that's all we are now. The reservation's done. They're going to have a table.
Yeah.
Well, most of them. I'm not sure where Pat goes off to. He's driven off to a different restaurant. He fancies the Mackies. Oh, God. What are they up to?
Yeah,
oh.
There's Megorian into a wall a little bit as well. Now, he hasn't completely lost, and he was on plastic, so the acceleration will come back eventually. But he is going to be out of the race for the top 5 at the moment. A tight battle with this top 5. Broly leads the way through that checkpoint, but it's only 14,000 back to Neil. Broly has a little bit more support in the form of Key, the 2v2 duo, who could not get it done for Evo Black, are looking to get it done in this round at least. If Speedy gets past Maui, that's an automatic round win. If not, Speedy still in decent position. Is he going to have enough speed to make the finish? Is he going to fall into the other finish? No! Speedy has fallen off, and I think that might end up handing the win to the team in blue. Hard to tell exactly where everyone has ended up. It might be a draw. Might be a win for the team in red. It's a draw.
It's a draw. It's a draw.
Speedy
the bus
just needed to...
takes longer to show up.
Speedy could have just gone for the safe in and won the red.
Yeah.
Every decision matters.
Technically.
Everyone. At least for this sub match. I mean, again, yeah, overall match, a little bit done, a little bit over. But an illustrative point that, you know, even if you are a little bit out of it, you've fallen behind in the race for top 4. Still worth going for the finish if it is a closer round, and especially if it matters a little bit more. I mean, I'd have to guess that if this was a sub match that was more relevant, Speedy would have just done the sensible thing and gone for the safe in. But
You'd hope, wouldn't you?
You would, in fact, hope, yeah.
I think he was trying to go to the safe in by just, like, bouncing off.
Bouncing off the wall? Yeah, and unfortunately some fool, some crazy mapper had put an out-jutting pillar off that wall. Now this time, Speedy should have the speed to make the finish there. Megorian just about did as well. And that will be a 1-2-4 round win for Evo Black, who are closing things back up here.
Yeah, they really are. This was looking, you know, incredibly one-sided 2-4-W here, but... yeah, not so much anymore. 4-3 now.
4-3. Still a little ways left to go in this one before we can move on to our grand final, which I'm looking forward to. I genuinely am at this point, as Team W Dot definitely, I think, still feel like our favorites just based on what they have done in this upper bracket. 6-1, 6-1, 6-1. Their scoreline across their 3 matches so far in that upper bracket. It's feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see large aspects of the match almost be a, you know, perfect duplicate of what happened. You know, Brinken has looked so good, I'd be shocked to see him lose 1v1. Yeah. I think the 2v2 could go either way, but...
Definitely. I mean, the 2v2 last time was quite even. I mean, it'd be big for 4Wheels if they managed to pick that back up again, but it does have to be said, Team W Dot did look solid in that one, and if Brinken continues to stay on form, Team W Dot managed to pick up that 2v2 again, then we are once again set up for an exciting finish to our finals.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll end up getting decided by before we pause instead of, you know, the complicated maths of...
Yeah.
trying to work out how many rounds it's gone. You know, adding numbers, bit beyond where we want to be as cars. You know, we just chat about cars going around in circles.
That's true. I think more Trackmania maps should be circles. We need more NASCAR in here.
Do we?
No, probably not.
No. We really don't.
It's a fun style to drive. I do really enjoy the NASCAR maps in Trackmania, but I'm also not very good at them. So
That makes one of you.
I like it. Listen, having to release at the right time, like it's kind of one of the few styles where, you know, accelerator control is the key skill, you know?
Yeah, but just don't find it that fun.
That's fair. Hey, each to their own, and isn't that the beauty of Trackmania? That there is so much diversity in our mapping
I
styles.
mean, yeah, Rinter in chat had just said that NASCAR is fun to drive with a man who is dominant on snow car, so...
What's one saying that his opinion can't be trusted all of a sudden?
Your words, not mine. Your words, not mine. I was just stating a fact, a bit of knowledge.
Yeah. Hey, we're getting closer to the end.
We are. This is turning into an incredibly long sub-match, it has to be said. It starts off with a 3-0, fairly dominant victories, 4-4W. Oh, Neil.
Oh.
Oh, Neil.
This is kind of exactly what 4W didn't need. In
Yeah,
terms of this being, you know, their confidence booster, like maybe we can take it to Team W. If it goes to a decisive crisis again, that, you know, we've managed to up the consistency a little bit. The pace is getting down into consistent 57.8s for multiple players on the team. That's something that could put pressure on Team W. And here we are instead, with Evo Black fully getting back into the map.
Yeah. And as much as they might be more warmed up, I guess, this is taking a toll on me as a caster. This is a long sub-match. I can't imagine as a player, like, my hand would be cramping so badly already.
This is interesting. A 3-4, but a 5 for Evo Black.
It's a draw.
It's a draw. Broly comes home in 6th place. That's a draw. We're back in IKEA.
We're building more drawers.
Building more drawers. This time, it's a pretty big one. Someone quick, look up what IKEA's biggest bedside cabinet is, the one with the most drawers. That's what we're constructing right now. Anyway, look, someone's going to win a round. Someone's going to win a round. I know you're worn down when you kind of giggle at the IKEA joke instead of just passing it off as terrible like you did earlier.
Exactly. Just too long watching the sub-match, man.
Yeah. A little bit of Polish dominance for this round. Key and Megorian were at least 1 and 2, but Hungary have reinserted themselves into the conversation, and Sweden are up there as well. Paco and Copro now sitting in 2nd and 3rd. America from across the pond comes flying in.
Oh my god, and speaking of flying,
there goes Poland.
Megorian Airlines launches its debut flight. It goes absolutely flying.
Looking good for Team 4Wheels. It's a 1-3.
I think it's a 2 as well. I think
there's
sure
a 2. Does look set up for a draw.
One more.
There's so many rounds left.
Oh
Quick admins declare that this was actually secretly just a 5 the entire time. It was always up to 5. I mean, best of 11, technically. I mean, come on. I mean, best of 5, then we played way too many rounds.
One of them literally said 1 more. I was like, no, it's not 1 more. It's still going to be 2 more. You didn't win the round. You drew again.
No, it's Key and Copro have been typing that after every draw, because every draw does guarantee 1 more round. And they're not wrong. As this one, once again, in a very drawable position for both teams. But Broly is just behind Neil at the moment. And again, 3 cars into the top 4 means you are in good position. Neil's name just hovering at the bottom of our screens. He vanishes off, but he is still there. He has not lost out just yet. And Copro locked in battle with Speedy and Megori. And Broly still just behind, about a 10th separating him from the top 4 at the moment. Up to the finish line we go. Megorian to cross in first, Copro second, Speedy in third, and Broly has overtaken as Neil vanishes off the scoreboards. That is a round win for Evo, bringing us back.
We have a round win.
Scoreboard. Yeah.
Oh, it's been a while.
IKEA's largest chest of drawers, the Nordley. Chest of 12 drawers, white, 160 by 145 centimeters for £535.
A
That's
lot of
nothing
money for a chest
on
of
these
drawers.
matches. We have got more than 12 drawers.
We
really do. You have already been quoted on that, I'm afraid.
Don't quote me on that. For all times when I'm discussing giant IKEA drawers, you know, I
all
won't
those times
bring
in my
up.
life when someone comes up to me and is like, "Hey, do you know off the top of your head what the largest IKEA chest of drawers is?"
Well, I
like,
will
yeah.
let you know it is the Nordley chest of 12 drawers, white.
And if I'm incorrect, direct your questions directly to Rint.
Exactly. Right, good position here for 4W. Copro with the lead here. Neil in second. This could actually be a victory.
Bring us to a match point. Bring us to match point.
Potentially.
Bringing us to match
Two
point.
match
It's
points.
1, 3, 4.
Well,
2 match point, and they'll get
We
2
say
match
match
points
point.
as well.
The
Yeah.
match point has already happened. The match is already won. This is just like end point.
Actually, that's an esports org, I think you'll find.
Oh wait.
Pretty good Rocket League team.
Rocket League is not a scene I follow too heavily.
That's completely fair.
I
So you
play
just have
Rocket
to take
League
me at my
about
word.
once every 3 months. I boot up the game, I get very angry, I close the game again. I come back 3 months later in a sad repeating cycle.
It do be like that sometimes. Good round for Evo Black to kick things off. It was until Speedy ends up touching a wall there, and all of a sudden Key
Currently
will
at the
also
back.
drop back
Key-
as well.
Where
We're
is
done.
everyone?
We're done. We are wrapping things up. 4Wheels have been handed this win. They will look to take down the 7-0. It's not wrapped up just yet. Neil has slowed down a little bit, but they still have a 1-2-3
Paco.
with Copro, Maui, and Paco. They have a 1-2-4.
Try to fight anyone
That's still
spectate.
good enough. They have a 1-2-5-6.
5-6. That's still good enough.
Good enough.
Please
They
make the
just
finish,
need
Neil.
to hold on. I'm begging you to make this finish.
Where's
Neil.
Copro
You'll
gone?
be fine. It's a win, right? 1-4-5-6.
Yeah, that's a win.
That's a win. That's a win.
We're
That's
done.
a win. We're done here.
We're done.
It's over. 4Wheels will wrap things up. The GG, I guess, comes out in chat from Shadow. And I'll say it, I think this was overall a well-played match from 4Wheels. They got the job done on the first 3 maps. Things got a little spicy there on the 4th, but at that point, things were wrapped up. They didn't need to stress all that much about it. They will need to stress now. They move on for a rematch, their 3rd of the tournaments against Team W. Tent. They will look to take them down for the first time in those 3 rematches.
Yeah, I go to check for details of exactly when that will be kicking off.
Today,
you know,
at some point, one would hope.
Today, it's meant to be starting at 6:30, which was an hour 20 ago. So I think they might have got that a little bit wrong.
That does seem like it may be a little bit off, but you know, we'll see how we get it. Wikipedia says 8 o'clock. That'd be in 9 minutes.
In which case,
So
we will
we'll just
throw
assume.
to about an 8-minute break. I think I need a break after that match. That was a bit of an endurance one there. Yeah.
Yep.
But we got
Well,
to the
we'll be
end.
back at Grand Finals. It'll be a good time. We're looking forward to it. Rematch again, and we'll see you soon for it.
Yeah. Don't go anywhere. This should be a good one.